Hello Aries, and welcome to your reading for March 2023. What have we got in store for you, Aries? Well, it's a big month. We're starting out on such a high. I've got the World and the Tower coming in. So the World at your feet, but something happening like very suddenly and unexpectedly for you here at the start of March, where like in a great way, like in a very great way. So whatever you've been working towards, suddenly it's going to just appear or happen, and everything is going to just fall into place beautifully for you. And then after that, I've got my Three of Cups and my Empress, so finding a lot of abundance there as well, followed by the Death card, which is the birth of a new you, the rebirth of you or something in your life. The Death card is a great card. I love the Death card. It does mean a rebirth, but it does mean the natural ending of something as well. So there will be something ending that you have to deal with before this rebirth takes place. Now, my advice around this is to accept the changes as they come. I've got a little bit of resistance to this change as we come into that first week of January, because I've got my Seven of Rods over the top of it. So I would highly suggest that instead of fighting against this change, that you actually just allow it to flow into your life and let it happen, because this is so great. Okay, so what am I talking about with all these changes? There's a couple of things going on here. First of all, I feel like there's a sudden move, so a challenging and sudden move from your home, so your home address. Maybe you suddenly buy a new house, or you have to move your rental or something like that, but there's something coming in around home and movement. And while it seems challenging, it's actually going to bring some beautiful new beginnings and wishes fulfilled around that as well. So I really like that I'm seeing all these big things happening. It's just how you navigate your way through that. Now, as I get towards the middle and the end of March, I'm kind of on the fence of how this is going to go, because the end of March for you, Aries, is seeing you at the lowest of lows, but also very high at the end of that. So we're coming into a place at the end of March where it really does look like you're getting overwhelmed. You're at a crossroads. You don't know what you're doing with your life. Which direction are you going in? Is there a decision you need to make, but you can't make it? Maybe you've got several options in front of you and you just cannot decide what to do. So what do you really want? I guess the big question is, what do you really want? Because sometimes we're too scared to say out loud what we really want, because it might sound silly or unattainable, or don't be ridiculous, I can't believe I'm thinking about that thing, because how am I going to achieve that thing? Well, you can achieve that thing as long as you make a good, solid plan, because I've got my Six of Cups here and I've got my King of Swords. So if you're willing to make a really good plan around what it is you want to do moving forward, then I think it's going to be better for you to make a decision. So perhaps it's time to sit down and figure out the logistics of what you want to do moving forward, because you're getting yourself into a huge pickle here. There's issues going on around friendships, home, work, all areas of your life. And by the time you get to the end of January, you're just sitting there maybe frozen in place and you don't know what to do. If you find yourself in that position towards the end of Feb, highly suggest that you sit down and write down a plan. Now, as well as that, I'm going to highly suggest also that you take a little trip away, get out of the situation that you're in, or just the drudgery of your everyday life. Get away from it for just a few days, and then somehow everything seems to make sense. So getting yourself out of the situation you're in, going away for a couple of days, all of a sudden this fresh perspective comes in and everything becomes clear and you know what you're doing moving forward. So then at the end of March, I've got Judgment and Emperor. So coming out of the dark and into the light. So the confusion has left you here. You know what you're doing. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then the Emperor here at the end, which is, you know, someone who's standing very firm where they are, knowing what they want, knowing what they're doing and moving forward in that direction. So Aries, looking at March for you, it's a bit all over the place and you kind of don't know what you're doing. So I feel like I want to say to you, just ride the waves as they come, because as March progresses, you are going to figure it all out in the end. So don't stress out too much. You are going to figure it all out. You have the world at your feet. You have abundance at your feet. You've got some big changes coming, but you're going to be just fine. Okay, Aries, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.